Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's been a very, pretty exciting last few days in the market, especially after it being really drab for quite a bit of time with a proper volume drain. But it looks like, especially in equities and just from yesterday in short sterling contracts, the volumes really started to come back. Now the question is, I don't know how long it's here to last for, but especially in short sterling yesterday, I was quite amazed at what I was looking at. And I'll just quickly first go over that. And what basically happened is you've got the Bank of England that came out, and there was less people that were voting for a change in QE. And then because of that, we had a pop-up in cable, and cable has been relatively strong, especially relative to the euro, which has in turn led to euro sterling going down. And because of that, and the fact that they're very worried about inflation, and they said they're going to be looking at it strongly, and the fact that they don't think it's going to come down as soon as they thought it was, that led to a big sell-off in short sterling contracts and the gilt. If we just look at, I'm just going to scroll back down here. This is when we just traded in the short sterling contracts before. This is on a 10-minute chart, and as you can see, we just had pockets of volume, like maybe in a 10-minute period, maximum I see is 5,884. But then, as we got the move yesterday, this is when we had it. It was from about 9:30 onwards yesterday, and we came off quite heavy on the back of 13,000 lots there. We had another 13,000 lots here as well, and it was very volatile and provided quite a bit of an opportunity to just sort of leg in and leg out of spreads, which was good, although the overall spreads were going up as you would expect. But it definitely provided some opportunity as we kept on going down, and there was a lot of volume, a lot of side just got pinging into the market. We also at one point had a 35,000 lot spread put on in one hit, and we had a 19,000 K calendar put on as well in the June 13, Sep 13, Dec 13 calendar, and I think it was at -2s, and right now trading at -2, so they basically sold it, so they're at break even right now. So obviously their sort of take on what is going to happen in the longer term is that we're going to sort of steepen towards the back end, and whereas the front end is going to go up. So that looks like the view that these positions sort of imply. While short sterling and the gilts are getting weaker, the Bunds on the other hand are just sort of racing through the roof, and we've reached another new high today. And if you just look here, this is on a 5-minute condensed chart. We've been bouncing, I've been regularly saying when we get into the 140s, keep on selling it. And if you look back over time, as you can see, every time we get into the 140s, we have a nice sell-off. Another sell-off here, that was good for about 40 ticks, depending on, mid-40 seems to be the point. But we broke that today, and we've actually gone as high as 140.78, and we actually double topped at that quite nicely over here. But it's getting harder and harder where to short in. It's about how much pockets you have in terms of able to ride it out, because I'm pretty sure we're seeing a Bund right now 140.59, as high as 140.78, but I'm pretty sure at some point in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, we'll be trading back in the 139s, and but at the time we don't know how high this is going to go, and the fact that equity is still pretty high, there's still a lot more room if we have an equity sell-off for these Bunds to go higher. But the higher it goes, the better chance it is to obviously for shorting it. But in terms of if you're scalping it around these levels, it's a lot harder. But if you have a view, shorting it with a decent sized stop, I think in the long run, in the next 2-3 weeks, definitely you'll be well on side. But it's getting harder and harder where to pick those levels now, as we broke quite considerably above 140.50. So now we went 30 ticks above that, and now we sort of bounced off that level, and so it's going to be pretty tricky in terms of what's going to happen here. Another way you could sort of play it is by buying the Bunds spread, and again that has broken through the lows too, and we were trading over here, as you can see, 301.96, and then we're trading 301.49, and this is where we got the break, and we went 20 ticks lower over here, 301.29, and now we've sort of come back some of it, and now we're trading at 301.43.44. So this is a bit more of a hedge way of trading this, if you believe the bounce back down is going to happen. And this way, a bit more hedge. You've got the Schatz, a bit of protection, and just like a bit more of an outright version of the Bund. So hedged outright of the Bund. So in terms of looking at this, I'm inclined. It looks like this now stabilizes around this area, and I'm inclined to go long around these areas, as it looks like a high probability bet where you have about 20-30 ticks of downside, as opposed to about 50-60 ticks worth of upside if we get up there. So that's a 2-for-1 trade over there. So could be one way to play it. And finally, coming onto the Euribors, the Euribors have been pretty static lately. Not much movement, not much volume. Whereas the short sterling's really come out of its shell. The Euribor has just been trading. This is a trade contract I've been trading the most lately. Set 13, deck 13. It's been going between 7.5 and 8.5. It's giving you quite a few opportunities to get the 8.5s, and it keeps them coming back down to 8s. So right now just playing in this range. So if you can pick up your half ticks, this seems to be working quite well at the moment. But as we know, the risk to this is to the upside if we get a sort of similar comment out of Europe. But with the Spanish problems and things such as with the increase in yields and such things, definitely look for it to probably go lower, and around 6.5 I think is pretty good for this. Definitely a good buy. But again, all depends. Keep your eye out for the news coming out of the markets, and if there's any fundamental shift in the overall landscape and what's going on. But so right now, looking at these markets, we're rallying again. Been going up and down the whole day really, but we've just been going up and down looking at these markets right now. But I think we'll see what happens next week, and then we'll take it from there. Good luck with your trading.